What's going on, Giants fans? Starting something new here on the channel, a little Giants trivia. Let me know, who scored the first touchdown for the Giants in Super Bowl 42? Stick around for the whole video because at the end, we will reveal the winner. So let me know, who scored the first touchdown for the Giants in Super Bowl 42 against the Patriots? What's going on, guys? We have some breaking news, rumors, I don't know how you call it, but some new stuff to get to. Video number 2 of the day. You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. And at the owners' meetings down in Florida, there's been some talk about Saquon Barkley, Joe Schoen, and Schoen and Mara. They both talked about it, and it's coming out that neither have ideas or intentions to trade Saquon Barkley throughout the offseason. We've heard the team say they're going to take calls on Saquon Barkley. At the NFL Draft Combine, Joe Schoen said that, and Schoen and Mara, he's kind of been out of the loop because I don't really want my owner being involved in trade discussions. But Joe Schoen, just today, he talked about Saquon Barkley at the NFL owners meetings, and he had this to say. He said this: "I'm not shopping Saquon Barkley. I haven't called one team on Saquon Barkley. I've gotten calls about a few of our players, and he's one where a couple of teams have reached out. Again, I'm not shopping Saquon Barkley. I like Saquon. The guy was the number 2 pick in the draft for a reason. He's got a lot of talent, and I'm looking forward to working with him." This sounds an awful like what Dave Gettleman once said when he was talking about Odell Beckham Jr. We didn't sign him to trade him. And then 2 days later, he ended up trading him. And I don't think that's just going to happen, or the story with Joe Schoen and Saquon Barkley. I want to believe that Joe Schoen is a man of his word and to the people, which is something he really doesn't even have to be. He doesn't have to be honest with the media or the New York Giants fans, but I like that out of my GM because I'm a fan and I'm a little bit selfish and I want to know what the team is doing. Zach Rosenblatt, he tweeted this out on Twitter. He covers the Giants. He's a beat reporter, and he said this: Joe Schoen said he reached out to Saquon Barkley after all the speculation about him getting traded to let him know they don't want to deal him. Again, not actively looking to trade him, and that makes sense. It doesn't seem like the Giants all offseason really wanted to trade him. Joe Schoen was asked at the NFL Combine, well, how do you feel, or how do you go about trading one of your best players like Saquon Barkley? And Joe Schoen said, look, I take calls on every single player. So he didn't directly say he's taking calls on Saquon Barkley. That kind of got misconstrued, but you know what? At the end of the day, that's what the media does. Schoen and Mara, he spoke to the media on Sunday afternoon, and this is what he had to say about Saquon Barkley. We're not shopping Saquon, but Joe Schoen is the general manager. If he and the head coach, Brian Daboll, want to make a personnel decision and have conviction about it, I'm not going to interfere with it. But that's not something we're actively looking to do. Let's put it that way. And I like hearing that out of Schoen and Mara. I don't want my owner getting involved with trade talks about our superstar or ex-superstar running back. Let the GM, let the assistant GM, and let the head coach and all the front office guys make that decision. Schoen and Mara, you just worry about giving the fans large Pepsis this year instead of medium Pepsis. You cheap son of a, you know where I'm going with that one. But get in the comment section for me, Giants fans. Should the Giants trade Saquon Barkley? Hopefully, this is the last time we got to ask this question, because you know what? I'm just going to go and say I trust Joe Schoen that he's not going to do it. But go down in the comment section, keep Saquon Barkley if you want to keep him, or go down and type trade Saquon Barkley if you want to trade him. If it ever happens, if the Giants trade Saquon Barkley or another move happens, we'll be breaking it down on this channel, youtube.com/NYGiantsTV. And we're about 150 subscribers away from 7,000. If we get to 7,000 subs on this video, you can check the analytics to make sure. I will start the next show with 7 shots on the show to get it rolling. I'm trying to get there, and I want to get you guys involved and maybe have a little bit of fun with it. But being seriously, subscribe, hit that big red button, because we have non-stop Giants news and rumors video all year long. Second video of the day was scrolling on Twitter, saw the Saquon Barkley trade rumors pop up, so I got in the lab with my guy Matthew Peterson to get you guys a video. The dedication is real, so go down right now and hit that big red button. My take on all of the Saquon Barkley trade or not trade, the whole saga is this. If you're not going to trade him, then that makes me think that the Giants and Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll have him in the future plans. Because look, if you don't trade him and say he has a good year. Because if you're going to keep a hold of him, it's because you believe he's going to have a good year in the new offense, with the new offensive lineman with pick 5 and 7. Andrew Thomas another year. And new guys on the offensive line like Mark Glowinski and Brian Dable and Mike Kafka at the helm calling the plays. You think Saquon Barkley is going to have a big year. And if that's fine. If you think that, then don't trade him. But you better be ready to sign him, or re-sign him, I guess is the way to say it, to somewhat of a big contract. Hopefully it's not the Ezekiel Elliott deal that's handcuffed, the Giants. But you have to have forward thinking when it comes to Saquon Barkley. If you want to keep him and you don't trade him, that gives everyone that's a part of this team and this fan base the idea that you have him in the team's long-term plans. And honestly, I'm scared to trade Saquon Barkley. I like Saquon Barkley. I got the jersey on it. I had it before his first game ever with the New York Giants. I thought he was going to shake it up. I actually liked the pick at number 2. I didn't like Sam Darnold, and I thought it was a little bit too early for Josh Allen, but we all have been proved wrong. Josh Allen should have been the pick, but hindsight is 20/20. But this is what I have to say about trading Saquon. I'm scared that he's going to go to another team and rush for 2,000 yards, have 100 grabs, and another 15 total touchdown season like he did his rookie year back in 2018 when he was one of the best, if not the best, running backs in the NFL. 260 carries, 1,300 yards, 5 yards a pop, 11 rushing touchdowns, 4 receiving touchdowns. That was the guy we thought we were getting out of Penn State when he was the number 2 overall pick. But since then, he was great in 2019, played in just 13 games, crossed over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4.5 yards a pop. But then in 2020, he tore his ACL in week 2. In 2021, he never really got his footing on track. He did to start the year. He got better and better, popped in that Saints game, and then the very next week, he hurt his ankle against the Dallas Cowboys. Just bad luck, stepped on the DB's foot, and he never really got back on track. But maybe he will. And for all the doubters out there, Saquon, he didn't look good his first year back after the ACL. What about Edgerrin James? You remember that guy, the guy that went from the gold teeth to the gold jacket? In 2001, he tore his ACL. And then in 2002, he didn't play good. 277 carries, 989 yards, only 3.6 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns, and 61 receptions. Then his second year back from his ACL, got his knee stronger, got his legs stronger, got his hips stronger. He bounced back. 310 carries, almost 1,300 yards, 4.1 yards per tote, 11 touchdowns, and 51 grabs. And then the next season, 1,500 yards. Then the next season, 1,500 yards. It's not always the first year back after the ACL that's going to be your best year. It's year 2, and that's what I'm expecting from Saquon Barkley. Get your feet right. Get your legs right. Get your mind right. Because as a running back, there's a mental block coming back from an ACL. You don't really want to cut off that knee that you had restructured and surgery done on because you don't trust it. You got to learn to trust yourself again. And he was starting to do that last year. Then he hurt his ankle against the Dallas Cowboys. But maybe this is the year that Saquon Barkley bounces back. You may never get that rookie year Saquon Barkley again. But can we get 80% of that where we get 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns and 60 grabs? I do think that is a possibility, especially with Brian Dable and Mike Kafka and a reworked offensive line ahead of him. But be the GM. Say the Buffalo Bills called on draft day and they were like, yo, it's Brandon Beane. What up, Joe Schoen? Would you trade a Saquon Barkley for a 3rd-round pick? Let me know what you would do. Go down in the comments, type Y for yes. I do think the Giants should trade him for a 3rd-round pick. Or if you're like me, honestly, I would say no because I think the goal and the pot of gold at the end of the tunnel for Saquon Barkley is better than a 3rd-round pick. If you agree with that, you can go down and type N for no. I appreciate everyone that's made it this far in the video and have been waiting for trivia time. Who scored the first TD for the Giants in Super Bowl 42? Was it Eli Manning? Was it Plaxico Burress? Or was it David Tyree? Not the helmet catch, the first touchdown of the game, the 6-yard slant route against the New England Patriots. I'm going to be honest. I saw this on Twitter last week, and I didn't really know who it was. Had to go back and look it up, and it was our guy, David Tyree. Who would have thought a David Tyree touchdown in Super Bowl 42 would have been the 2nd best play of that game from David Tyree? Shout out to you, David Tyree. He's got the same birthday as Eli Manning. It's just a fairy tale ending. I'm getting chills thinking about it once again. So yes, it was David Tyree. And everyone that got in the comment section and named David Tyree, I will give you a shout out on the next show. And then give me some love. Give me some love on Twitter. Give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_. Trying to get to 2,000 followers, and I need your help. Not only do I want Giants fans to follow me, so give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_.